And right, this morning, it's going to be a slow start, at least at 9:15. Guys, good morning.
Hi, morning Prashant, morning Nigel. And that's not such a bad thing, right? I mean, given the week gone by was quite positive for equities, especially for the US markets. A little bit of a pause, a little bit of a breather is something perhaps the bulls would take with both hands. But the Nifty is getting close to record highs, and that's something that we're going to focus on. It's on the back of a global market rebound. Our markets are at a 13-month high. That's where we closed last week. And the gains have now been for 4 straight weeks running. So that's the kind of momentum our markets have seen. There's also been buying both from foreign and domestic investors on Friday. So FIs, there was a huge sum, almost 4,000 crores got pumped in. DIs saw about 600 crores or so. And the US markets had a pretty smooth run on Friday as well. Look at that. All across the board was green. In fact, for the week, the S&P 500 was up almost 6%. The CBOE volatility index fell quite a bit, which is a good thing. And now our sights are set on that all-time high of 18,604, which we hit way back in October 2021. We're just a smidge away from that. I guess it's just a matter of time. But the biggest cue for me, and I'm sure it's for Nigel as well, is the end of the earnings season, right? Tomorrow, earnings season comes to an end. So, but today, so many stocks in focus.
Sonia, just looking forward to this. Last week was the end of the week, you're just burning out. But good, Prashant, I'm sure you're tracking the EPS growth, etc. But me and Sonia are going to be celebrating the end of earnings season. It's been a rough one.
It's been a hectic one.
Tiring one, always, absolutely. And I mean, they come up so fast, right? I mean, by the time one is finished, you're looking at the next one. No, absolutely. The new highs, as Sonia mentioned, will come. And the Bank Nifty already saw that on Friday. And of course, in the Nifty, we're not very far away, 250 odd points or so. Let me just quickly set up things. So we had the Wall Street rally continuing on Friday as well, with a near 2% pop. The S&P 500 was up about 1%. The Nasdaq specifically is giving very positive technical indications. So it's finished what is basically a double bottom. It's broken through a horizontal resistance, and it closed above the 55-day moving average. This is the Nasdaq Composite, which basically suggests a move all the way to about 12,227 to 12,270, which is about 7% from where the Nasdaq Composite is right now. The reason we are saying this is because the last time we had a move, that was in June, from the lows of June 2022, the low to peak move was about 25%. And that basically will get the Nasdaq Composite this time around to this 12,270 kind of levels, as I said, which is about 7% away from here. Remember, the S&P has had a little better, because Nasdaq, of course, was the one which was compressed quite a bit. On the S&P, similar kind of levels come in at about 4,200, which is not very far away from where we are. The dollar index fell once again on Friday. It was down another 2%. Last week, the dollar index is down Friday to Friday 4%. That is huge, right? I mean, that is a 3 sigma move if you have one for the ages in that sense. And I think there is perhaps a healthy debate about whether the dollar is starting to peak. And we'll kind of talk more about that. A peaking dollar is great news for emerging markets because that's one of the primary channels of inflows or outflows, depending on stress or relief. But, this week, after the CPI numbers underwhelmed, you will hear from a lot of Fed speakers, 14 Fed speaking engagements. The reason this is important is because somebody will come out and say varying degrees of hawkishness and dovishness, and the market will respond. So, it's something to really watch out for. The other big story, of course, is this China reopening. There are indications that zero COVID is kind of behind and they're going to gradually reopen. This is important because of a variety of things, but the most important way it affects us is it perhaps puts upward pressure on energy prices, oil prices, right? I mean, China has been out of the market for a long time, and if it is making a comeback and markets try and price that in, it's important for energy. On the Nifty, we on Friday closed exactly at the upper end of the broadening pattern, and the January 2022 high, which was about 18,350. I mean, the next targets are essentially the all-time highs. We can kind of be very specific about levels, but I would go with the broad level, which is the all-time high. Bank Nifty also made a higher high and closed above the previous peak, which was 41,948. So, although the Bank Nifty was closed in the middle of the range, but the close was a higher high, and the targets on the Bank Nifty stretch out to about 43,000 or so. It's going to be a slow start. Maybe wait out the first half an hour, 40 minutes, see how we start, and then maybe start to take positions once again. One thing has been absolutely clear. There is no point taking a counter trend kind of a move yet unless the market tells you that, which is not the case. The one big concern, which was the global concern, is also starting to fitter away right now. US markets are looking like they perhaps have a little more to go before this one peaks out. Nigel, what are you watching?
Well, guys, before we get to the market action, today is a very special day, right?
It's Children's Day.
Absolutely. Children's Day. Sonia's done, I think, an interesting chat
Yes.
on Friday. So I look forward to catching that. But it's a very, very special day. So wishing all the kids out there. I don't think too many of you all are watching this right now. But all the parents, do something special for the kids. It's Happy Children's Day. I remember Sonia told me once when I joined Bazaar that I think one of the great market men told her that if you're investing in something, the best investment is invest in your children.
Yes.
And that's that stuck with me.
And don't extinguish the child in you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, don't let age extinguish the child in you. So, happy Children's Day to all of us as well.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's about that. So let's get to the market action. Fabulous Friday is what we saw. You had the IT index as well as the Nifty Bank. Both of them, the pillars of the market, they did well. And when that happens, well, the Nifty did see a super duper rally. We were talking about that, 18,350 odd mark getting conquered. Well, on a closing basis, we closed bang in line out there. Institutional flows, well, the FI flows, they continue to remain positive. So 11 straight sessions is what you see in buying. 20,000 crores, $2.5 billion have come in. So the FIs, they continue on their buying streak. The DIs, they broke their selling streak, which is interesting as well, because for 10 straight sessions they were selling. That did take a bit of a pause. The FI data and the FNO market as well, very, very encouraging. They added longs, they covered some shorts. We made this point. They added some shorts midway through the week last week, and they were forced to cover that out. Now the long positioning moves to around 62%. Even on the option side, they bought more calls than puts, and they wrote more puts than calls. And you like that data point that's coming in there. What were they writing? If you're looking at the options data, there is clear signs of writing at around the 18,200 and 18,300 put. Put it together, total open interest build-up out there was close to 90 lakh shares. Now, that's giving you a sense that lower levels will be defended. On the upside, though, it appears the bears, they were defending that 18,350 odd mark, and they were writing the 18,200 call. There was sharp unwinding that we saw there. Open interest was down close to around 60%, and now it seems the bears have shifted their defense to that 18,550 because the 18,500 call did see a fair bit of open interest build up. How do you approach the Nifty? Well, buy on dips. You shouldn't be shorting this market with the kind of data points you're getting in there. So it's a still uptrending market. However, I need to make this point: a pullback, some bit of consolidation will be par for the course. The base for the Nifty has moved up close to around that 18,000, 18,100 odd mark. But I won't be surprised in the next couple of days if we get that 100, 200 point odd pullback. So let's see whether or not that happens. For the time being, SGX Nifty suggesting a quietish start.
Okay, and there are plenty of earnings today as well, right? Just while we're on the